Man, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. It is March 10th, 2025, and we are already waking up to a little bit of volatility. So last week, was a crazy day to begin with, or a crazy week. Even on Friday, we had a little bit of lows, and then we bounced off of it. But once again, we are not out of the woods just yet. And even waking up this morning, it's not as if anything crazy happened, but the worries are spilling over. Everything from trade, you get more tariffs this week, all the way down to now recession fears, deep seek, and everything else in between. So we're already at a key level, 200-day moving average, the volatility, all of that. But when it's all said and done, to begin this week of CPI, PPI, all of that, we are starting with volatility, and you are hearing the word recession a lot more. So, Chattadonia, I hope you guys are ready for it. I hope you enjoy daylight savings, man. It's early out here, but Chattadonia. Good morning. How are you, baby? What's going on? Are you ready? What up, you say? Prayer Tire Crows, open face sandwich, baby. Ryan, Tim, Laker, Jay. Good morning, baby. What up, Connor? What up, Javi? Mitch Matsuno, Gus Gonzo, Kim, Jamar, Alex, Steve, Christina, Ultrapato. Excuse me. Good morning. What up, Paul? Martin Screlly, Big Carly, Jay Stas, Dos Nacho, Mr. Orman. What up, Alman? What up, Andrew? Good morning, Krista. Marcus Hanlon in the house. Ethio, Mark Sanders, Deco, baby. What's going on? Good morning. Happy Monday, baby. You better wake up. You better wake up. What up, Jan, Rodri, Ken, Brenda, Miguel, Joshua Chevy, Gus Gonzo again, baby. Good morning. What about that Twitch? Stock Sasquatch, Senor, Relentless, Toy Soldier, Blowing Doll, Westwee, Dio, Preforms, Toy Soldiers, Hey Niv, Assassin, the Marketer, Epic Eric, Robo Handtech, Roach Vince, and Pie Guy. Let's go, baby. So, Chattadonia, good morning. I hope y'all feeling good. We have a while. Again, it's already wild. The VIX is already at like 26. You are literally going into another low. So if you remember Friday, we were freaking out a little bit. You got away from it, but these levels, the momentum, everything, man, it is actually very important. So we're waking up with a lot of volatility, Chattadonia. I hope you are ready for today. But on that note, here is Josh AI with the news. Good morning. Good morning. U.S. stocks lead global slide as growth fears mount. Global stocks dropped and treasuries led bond yields lower as President Donald Trump's protectionist policies and cuts to the federal workforce dented confidence in the U.S. economic outlook. Futures pointed to a further drop on Wall Street, with contracts for the S&P 500 down 1.2%, following the worst week for the benchmark index since September. NASDAQ 100 futures fell 1.4%, with tech mega caps including AI bellwether Nvidia Corp among the big losers in pre-market trading. Tesla Inc. slid about 3% and is closer to erasing its post-election gains after data showed a plunge in China shipments. Trump's latest comments on the economy have added to unease over the potential fallout from trade tariffs and sweeping government job cuts, sending 10-year Treasury yields 6 basis points lower. The key borrowing rate has dropped more than 25 basis points in the past month, signaling risks that the world's biggest economy will stall. Bloomberg's dollar index held just shy of 4-month lows. The moves rippled across global markets, with European bond yields slipping and the regional stock 600 gauge retreating 0.7%. MSCI Inc.'s index of world stocks slipped 0.3%. Haven Asset Gold held steady after last week's 2% rise. The reason stocks are dropping is the spike in uncertainty and fear that the uncertainty will lead to a whole host of negatives, said Tom Essay of the Sevens report. All of that uncertainty will cause consumers and businesses to essentially hole up and wait for clarity. Get the market's daily newsletter to learn what's moving stocks, bonds, currencies, and commodities. Trump said at the weekend the U.S. economy faces a period of transition, while Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent earlier warned of disruption to growth. Bessent also ruled out policy shifts to prop up the stock market, the so-called Trump put. Meanwhile, more analysts are warning of a hit to corporate earnings from tariffs and fiscal spending cuts. Morgan Stanley strategist Michael Wilson said the S&P 500 could slide 5% in the first half of the year, though he expects a recovery by year end. JP Morgan Chase and company analysts also said they are turning cautious on risk assets, among other pre-market stock movers. Cryptocurrency exposed names fell as Bitcoin extended losses for a fifth consecutive session. Coinbase Inc. lost ground after S&P Dow Jones indices left out the crypto exchange operator from the S&P 500 benchmark, though food delivery firm DoorDash Inc. jumped as it was included in the gauge. Key events this week: Australia Consumer Confidence Tuesday, Japan GDP, household spending, money stock Tuesday, U.S. job openings Tuesday, Canada rate decision Wednesday, Japan PPI Wednesday, U.S. CPI Wednesday, Eurozone industrial production Thursday, U.S. PPI initial jobless claims Thursday, France CPI Friday, Germany CPI Friday, UK industrial production Friday, U.S. University of Michigan consumer sentiment Friday. Trump says U.S. economy faces transition, avoids recession call. President Donald Trump said the U.S. economy faces a period of transition, deflecting concerns about the risks of a slowdown as his early focus on tariffs and federal job cuts causes market turmoil. Asked on Fox News Sunday Morning Futures whether he's expecting a recession this year, Trump said, "I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big." While declining to address the question, Trump's response broadly aligns with his speech to Congress last week and a flurry of recent comments from top administration officials, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. At the core of the Trump team's argument is the prospect of tax cuts and tariff revenue down the road that officials contend will spur the economy. Mark Carney wins Canada Liberal contest, will succeed Trudeau in days. Mark Carney won the race to become Canada's next prime minister, putting the former central banker in charge of the country just as U.S. President Donald Trump's administration threatens its economic future. The ex-Bank of Canada and Bank of England governor won the contest to lead the Liberal Party of Canada with nearly 86% of the vote. The transfer of power from Justin Trudeau to Carney is expected to take place within days, and it's possible he will call a national election soon after a House unveils Trump-backed bill to avert government shutdown. House Republicans announced a spending bill to keep government agencies open through September 30, daring Democrats to vote against it and risk a disruptive March 15th shutdown. Speaker Mike Johnson will attempt to hold the fractious Republican majority together and muscle the 99-page bill through the House on Tuesday, likely without help from Democrats, but the bill would still need the help of moderate Democrats in the Senate, where the legislation would stall without 60 votes. Neither party, however, has shown an appetite for a shutdown. If the bill fails in either chamber, Congress is likely to pass a temporary bill to buy additional time to forge a compromise that has eluded lawmakers since the fiscal year began in October. Top overnight news: ahead of the Friday deadline for a funding bill to pass to avoid a U.S. shutdown, it doesn't feel like a shutdown is going to happen, although there's still a chance because, well, this is Congress, NCM Punch Bowl. House Republicans announced a spending bill to avert a government shutdown, daring Democrats to vote against it. Trump called on Republicans to pass the bill, warning them to allow no dissent in their ranks. BBG Fed's daily 2027 voter suggested that economic research shows uncertainty is a source of demand restraint and noted there are plenty of signs that the economy is solid, but the market is giving mixed signals, which is the reason monetary policy should be careful and deliberate, while she added that the Fed has rates in a good place. Trump said he will pick the Federal Reserve vice chairman for bank supervision fairly soon. It was also reported that Trump declined to predict whether the U.S. could face a recession amid stock market concerns about his tariff actions on Mexico, Canada, and China over fentanyl, while he said tariffs on Mexico and Canada could go up. According to Reuters, citing an interview with Fox News, Mark Carney will lead Canada's Liberal Party and become the country's next PM as Donald Trump's trade policies fuel uncertainty. The former central bank chief vowed to maintain retaliatory tariffs until Americans show us respect and to make the nation an energy superpower. BBG. APL Apple suffered another AI setback when the company confirmed it wouldn't be releasing an enhanced version of Siri for the foreseeable future. BBG. A new ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas is possible within weeks. A U.S. envoy told CNN Israel halted its supply of electricity to Gaza. BBG. China's CPI turned negative for the first time in 13 months, falling 0.7% in February from a year earlier. The core measure, which also slid, highlights the need for policymakers to deliver stimulus quickly. China has introduced retaliatory tariffs on about $22 billion of U.S. goods, including agricultural exports, targeting President Donald Trump's rural base in the latest escalation in the trade war between the world's two largest economies. Beijing's measures, which were announced last week in response to Trump slapping an additional 10% levy on all Chinese products, are aimed primarily at U.S. farm goods. Japan's real wages fell in January after 2 months of slight gains. Data showed on Monday, days before the annual rounds of pay negotiations held each spring culminate at the country's major firms. Japan real cash earnings for Jan come in a bit below expectations at minus 1.8% versus the street minus 1.6%. RTRS. German industrial production comes in a bit better than anticipated in Jan, plus 2% versus the street, plus 1.5%, while exports fall short, 2.5% versus the street, plus 0.5%. RTRS, Ukraine will try to convince Washington to resume arms intelligence assistance during negotiations this Tuesday in Saudi Arabia. WW Kiev advocating for a partial ceasefire in the war with Russia. FT. There's more. Good morning, Chad. Wow. Look at this. S&P down by 1.5 Monday morning. Pre-market trading near worst levels comes after stocks finished higher on a choppy Friday to cap off the week of notable declines. S&P logged its worst week since early September after weathering a period of volatile tariff headlines. Treasuries firmer with a touch of curve flattening, giving back some of the week's notable yield backup. Dollar down by 0.1 comes after the greenback capped its worst week since November 2022. Gold is down by 0.3, Bitcoin down by 4.9, and WTI is up by 0.6. Market resuming last week's caution. S&P ended Friday down more than 6% from the February 19th record close. Trump 2.0 uncertainty and attendant growth concerns remain the biggest focus. Some note of administration's note of caution on Trump's policies are rolled out. President this weekend said economy is set to undergo a period of transition. We will also see Congress trying to avoid a government shutdown after spending authorization expires midnight on Friday. GOP this weekend released a 6-month continuing resolution, though unclear if Democrats will support. All that said, still some bullish factors in the narrative and mix, including growing expectations for rate cuts, some signs of dip buying, easing dollar strength, and lingering hopes that tariff threat may be more bark than bite. Nothing on the economic calendar today, though. New York Fed's survey of consumer expectations out at 11. Year ahead, inflation expectations were unchanged in last month's report. Several economic releases to note this coming week, with January jolts tomorrow, February CPI on Wednesday, PPI and claims on Thursday, and preliminary consumer sentiment on Friday. Market will also absorb $119 billion in new Treasury issuance, with auctions of $58 billion in threes on Tuesday, $39 billion of tens on Wednesday, and $22 billion in 30s. Fairly light corporate news flow, though a couple of M&A headlines. Redfin to be acquired by RKT for a $1.75 billion deal, about $12 a share. CTSH up on reports that Mantle Ridge has built a $1 billion stake, now said to be in talks to acquire MoveWorks for around $3 billion. Beacon confirmed its discussions with QXO regarding a possible transaction. Elsewhere, post-close Friday saw announcement that Dash, TKO, Williams-Sonoma, EXC will join the S&P 500 as of March 24th to replace BWA, TFX, and CE and FMC. Reports said that Ford to inject 4.4 billion euros into debt-laden German unit. NVO, Cagri, SEMA weight loss drug trial data disappointed. Some focus pulled ahead to week's few notable earnings reporters, including Oracle, post-close today, Adobe post-close on Wednesday, and Dollar General Thursday morning. Wow. Trump accepts possibility of a recession, rejects business fears over tariffs. Lutnick expects 25% steel and aluminum tariffs to take effect on Wednesday. China tariffs on U.S. farm products set to take effect on Monday. Steel and aluminum companies welcome help from Trump's tariff policies. Strategists offer cautious outlook for S&P 500, citing economic and earnings growth risk. China deflationary pressure deepens in February. Analysts urge more policy stimulus. China housing minister says confidence improving in property sector. Japan service sector sentiment worsened in February for the second straight month on rising cost of living. Japan base wages rise at the fastest pace in 32 years, but real wages drop. German industrial output rises in January, signaling easing downturn. ECB Schnabel warns of persistent inflation risk, signaling potential rate cut pause. ECB Kazakhs urges open-minded approach to April rate decision amid geopolitical uncertainty. Tesla struggling in China's BYD ascent is largely to blame. Trump says 4 groups interested in TikTok deal. Ford to inject $4 billion in German business. TSM revenue climbs 39% in the first 2 months on upbeat note for AI. Trump says U.S. close to lifting pause on Intel sharing with Ukraine. U.S. and Ukrainian officials meet Tuesday in bid to progress mineral deal and ceasefire. EU von der Leyen says buy European dilemma is crafting 150 billion defense fund rules. And EU maintains trust in U.S. ties amid geopolitical shifts and boosting defense capabilities. And then Witkoff hopes mineral deal with Ukraine gets done this week, and Japan trade minister to meet with Lutnick on Monday. That's another one. Then tomorrow, a bunch of tech companies are going to the White House. Oh, they're going to meet Trump. Hello. Nice to meet you. I love Google. I Google it. I ask it a question. It shows up. Good morning. We have more. Yes, pre-market movers. We're actually making great time here, baby. Happy Monday. DoorDash is up by 3.3 to be added to S&P 500. EXE up by 2.1 to be added to the S&P 500. IoT is up by 2.0. Is that SOT? No, S&P. That's Piper Sandler added in BMO capital upgrades. FNV up 1.8 off earnings. VG up 1. Airbnb up 0.4. Jeffries upgrade. PTGX is up 25. Top line results. Phase 2 study of icotincrina. I don't know if I said that right. VRN is up by 16. Whitecap Resources to combine for 15 billion transaction. Beacon up 8.5. QXO and Beacon discussing potential transactions. KRMN up 5.6. Multiple initiations. MWA is up by 3.9 to be added to S&P Small Cap 600. WSC up 3.3 added to Small Cap 600. FRPT to be added to Small Cap 600. QXO on the Beacon news. Pay is up by 2.6. KTOS up 2.6 to be added to Small Cap 600. NPWR is up by 2.5 off earnings. ESI 2.4, small cap 600. WLFC is up by 2.2 off earnings. CYTK up 1.8. Update on Aficatem ahead of investor conferences. Redfin up by 76% to be acquired. All stock transaction for $12.50 a share. Checkpoint up 66. Sun Pharma Industries to acquire Checkpoint for cash payment of $4.10 a share. MLYS up 46. Primary endpoint on trial. TRVI is up 34. Top line results phase 2A River trial. AZI is up by 18. FBIO is up 17.9. Reaction of chart Checkpoint acquisition. TNYA up 17. Perry is up by 3.9. Expand share repurchase to $125 million. GDOT up 3.9. Review of strategic alternatives. Appoints board chair William Jacobs as interim CEO. ECX is up by 3x. Skyline Pro solution to be integrated. HPP up 3.5. Wells Fargo upgrade. Trading lower. RKT down on Redfin acquisition. APP down 7.6. Not added to S&P 500. CRH down by 5. Nothing. Reaction to Redfin, Zillow down 5, Palantir down 4.3 to be added to S&P 100. SC down 4.0, Sealand initiates buy. SMCI down 3.3, Rosenblatt reinitiates buy. BNTX is up by 3.1 off earnings or down. Dexcom down 3, warning letter of FDA following inspection of California and Arizona facilities. Google down 2.7, DOJ files proposed final judgment in Google antitrust litigation. Now down 2.3 in advanced negotiations to acquire MoveWorks for $3 billion. Lunar down 10, Beam down 5.2, initial data of Beam trial. ALKT down 4.8, private offering $300 million. ABLV down 25%. Chinese ADRs down by 2, and Bitcoin-related stocks trading lower. What is this? Robinhood? FINRA fines Robinhood $26 million for anti-money laundering and supervision violations. Orders payment of $3.7 million in restitution to customers. Wow! And now you're still down by almost 1.5%. I know. Good morning, baby. Happy daylight savings. Happy daylight savings. So, Chatadonia, that's a lot. That's a lot of headlines. We actually have a lot of good time. We've gone through most of that. I have a couple of plays, but if you watch the watch list and we're here on Friday, you should be thinking about one type of play here this morning. I think there's one easy play, which we'll get into. But before we do that, Chatadonia, oh, yeah, I'm excited and I am honored, you know. I'm glad that I have my horn here today, but welcome to the Cult, man. I hope you guys are ready for another wild week, but it's very simple. Here at the Cult, before we do anything, before we try to chase a dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people that has made a sacrifice that most of us never have and ever will. And I am talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So on behalf of the Cult, the people here, the people not here, I want to give a huge special shout out all the active servicemen, past servicemen, anybody who has served this country. But for real, Chad, y'all here right now. I mean, I don't know who's listening. I think we need to fix the homeless veteran problem, $6 billion, and I don't think we should shut up about it. But all in all, man, every day that you guys hear this and that you're here, I really hope you get the culture. And above all else, man, I just hope I can encourage all of you when you go out into the world. If you notice the veterans, man, show that love and appreciation. This is a culture that I think great societies are built off of when we could actually pay homage to those who deserve it, when we could honor those who have made a sacrifice that all of us benefit off of. So veterans, the families, every single one of you, man, and even if you didn't serve, I really hope you could get behind this and bring this and show this into real life, because we are in their debt and we have this freedom because a lot of people gave up everything. So veterans, thank you for that sacrifice, baby. God bless every single one of you, and big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities, all the doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men, anybody making their community run, baby. God bless you and thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Oh. Son of the Dutch! Oh, it's game time, baby. Oh, no, let's go. Oh, isn't it good to be back? Isn't it good to be back? It's so nice, bro. You have no idea. It's good, oh, man. Oh, yeah, we're home, baby. So, Chatadonia, we got good time. We've gone over everything. There is a couple of plays, but realistically, again, the volatility. And if you watch, I have a lot of fun facts. I went over a lot of pretty pictures on the watch list last night. I have one more related to the 200-day moving average, but I hope you guys were getting what I was saying, because all that really matters now is if we go down. Going up in the upside play is really easy. It's not really that crazy, but really what matters from here is this volatility, why the bonds are going up, all that stuff. We're going to see how it plays out. So keep your eyes out for that. But Chad, we got about 5 minutes. It is time that we make this shift. We go to General Pop. General Pop, as some people have called it. So God bless America. Shout out to the vets, baby, and veterans. Thank you guys for everything. For real, man. We would not be here without y'all. I mean, daylight savings is a bitch, but at the end of the day, I'm still glad that we are in this country, that we woke up, man, and we're all ready to go. So I hope y'all take that blessing and opportunity and make the most of it. So there it is. Yeah, we're going to Gen Pop. Get ready for Gen Pop. There it is. There it is, man. And I hope we get some stock pops or volatility pop. But there it is. We're going to move on over. God bless America. And again, thank you to the veterans, baby. Thank you to the veterans. I will see you there. Attempted